Suddenly now there's a mysterious fire and documents are going missing and government's panicking. Well, the crisis at the U.S. southern border continues. The disaster is unfolding right before our eyes, but it seems like independent journalists are shining a light in dark places. It could be resulting in some major shifts right now among the deep state players in all of this. So all of this is facilitated. All of this is being orchestrated to bring illegal immigrants into the United States, to undermine the United States, and it's being done with the help of the U.S. government, being funded and supported by the U.S. government. Two great journalists who, of course, have been exposing what's been going on at the Darien Gap, Ann Vandersteel, Michael Yon, join us now with some really big news on one of the camps and one of the locations down in the Darien Gap. You guys have been shining a light on this, getting international attention to these camps. And we've been featuring it here on the show because of your reporting. And suddenly now there's a mysterious fire and documents are going missing and government's panicking, we think. Can you guys break this down? What exactly has been happening in Panama that our audience needs to know about?
Go ahead, Ann.
So Clayton, very simply, Michael Yon has been leading an expedition down the Darien Gap for several years now. He focused in on it right after the election. But more recently, I've been joining him. As a matter of fact, we joined together during Operation Burning Edge. We kicked it off and we were on your show when we were stumbling across new information with respect to missing children out of the NGOs that we were focusing in on in Texas. Well, that's taken us back to Darien because the majority of the state sponsors of terror are moving these, quote, migrants, and they're not, it's an invasion army, through the Darien Gap, up through Central America. This is funded by the American taxpayer through the United Nations Immigration organization, non-governmental organization of choice known as IOM, the International Organization for Migration, as well as other NGOs like HIAS, Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society. We focused closely in on HIAS when we visited one camp called San Vicente. Michael calls it China Camp. A lot of Chinese immigrants, if you will, migrants or invasion army come through there, and they're mostly men of military age. You can speak to the people down there. They will tell you that's what they see. That's what we saw. After going down there with Epoch Times, Laura Loomer, myself, Mara Macy, who's running for Congress, probably one of the only honest brokers of a congressional opportunity who's willing to report on this. We all witnessed it, saw some very suspicious people. 1 week later, HIAS locked their Twitter account. They took their sign down that was outside San Vicente camp. And then the camp mysteriously was torched, specifically the offices that have the immigration records of who have processed through that camp on their way to the United States, in addition to the agents, the immigration agents, and in addition to the Centerfront agents. So everything was wiped out, which is very, very suspicious considering this was less than a week after us being there.